Hello and welcome to Atop the Fourth Wall, where bad comics burn. Last week we said farewell to a comic that has been with us since the early days. An example of taking a ridiculous premise and making it fun and enjoyable despite some hiccups. Now let's say goodbye to a series that really needed that overhaul to make it fun and enjoyable. Now, of course, the obvious thing anyone can say about The Star Wars is, well, of course it's not very good. It's the first, or at least an early, draft. It's going to take a lot of rewrites and a lot of talent to make it into something as beloved as it's become. And hey, even when it became something more recognizable, Star Wars infamously had a terrible first edit, even with a better script. But it's still hard to imagine that anyone believed in this script enough to try to make it work, because it really doesn't. It's overflowing with characters, the emotional resonance isn't really there, and stuff like Anakin's dad dying not being dwelled on, or Whitson's sacrifice being empty since we know nothing about him. We only care because in a general sense we don't like killers and fascists. It's not so terrible as to be awful, but it isn't anything special. US 1 last week had personality to most of its characters, goofiness that fully embraced how silly the whole premise was to begin with. I have this strange sense that the battle between two big rigs playing bumper cars in space will be more exciting than the space battles here. But hey, that's just why this all got revised into the Star Wars we love and love again and hate again today. It's a complicated relationship. Point is, this is the finale of The Star Wars, so where did we leave off? After winning the respect of the bug-eyed Wookiees, Anakin Starkiller reunites with Luke Skywalker and Swamp Thing Han Solo. Thanks to the help of the Wookiees, they take over an Imperial outpost. With a fleet of proto-Y-Wings at their command, Luke plans to organize an assault on the Empire's space fortress. Piloted by Wookiees, because I guess George Lucas predicted Battlefield Earth. On the space fortress, Princess Leia has been captured and is being tortured by Darth Vader. Anakin, who has fallen in love with Leia after knowing her for like a day, takes R2 on a rescue mission for the princess. Him slipping away from a stormtrooper while talking to him about space football has alerted the guards to his presence. So let's dig into the final issue of The Star Wars, and may the force of others be with us. Reading from a trade, so no real analysis of the cover, save for the fact that I like it. Though why Anakin is making kissy faces at his lightsaber is anyone's guess. We open with stormtroopers patrolling the detention area looking for Anakin. They find nothing, but Anakin finds them, slowly picking off a couple stragglers, including punching one across the face to knock him out.
Ow, my mask!
Neither helmet fits. Luke was right. I do have a swelled head. Today, the role of Anakin Starkiller will be played by Dib from Invader Zim. All kidding aside, good line. And hey, does that mean that the reason Luke couldn't see out of the helmet in the original movie was just because it didn't fit him? Watching on the security monitors are Darth Vader and Prince Valorum. And I see you have Skywalker's apprentice on the run.
Yes, we've just trapped your friend.
Look, we just met the one time at someone else's party. Stop making it sound like I cheated on you.
Watch us accomplish what you, the great Sith, found to be impossible.
Okay, this is a good example of the writing issues. When Vader and Valorum met for the first time, Vader was deferential and respectful, but now suddenly he's all,
God, the Sith suck. This is why my forces are awesome.
I just feel like there's a scene missing. Anyway, Anakin is running through the halls without a helmet, which of course is drawing more attention to himself than just waiting in the same spot in the walls to try to find someone with a helmet his size.
Stop, traitor!
No, that's not how you do it. This is the energy you need.
Traitor!
Or, if you're really pissed,
Traitor!
a bulkhead closes, blocking Anakin's escape. As such, he turns, closes his eyes, no doubt letting the Force flow through him, and he slaughters the stormtroopers with ease. Unrealistic Mary Sue character. Why do they let him get away with this? I don't know how anyone can fight in these tin cans. Well, they probably have them attached to their body with something better than Scotch tape. Although the armor being made of tin would explain how stormtrooper armor sucks so much. Anyway, another bulkhead falls and they gas him, knocking him unconscious. Well, now we really know why this script needed to be changed. This is some of the most competency we've ever seen in Star Wars villains.
You see, Valorum,
whatever.
Gas at last. I don't know why the Emperor bothered to request your services.
Ha ha! Special guest appearance by Phil Ken 7.
Still, you may be useful. Take the Jedi to the special interrogation section, and use your Sith skills to find out his plans.
As you wish, Darth.
You realize that zapping him with lightning isn't really that impressive, right? A car battery does the same thing for all intents and purposes.
Back over to the assault force of Wookiees, the Proto-Y-Wings are actually bigger ships, not fighters as much as light attack craft. Luke is coordinating with the rebels on Aqualay to stage simultaneous attacks at the same time as the assault on the Space Fortress. It's a nice touch, shows that it's not just the destruction of the Space Fortress that will liberate the planet. Also love this one dude with the black mask covering half his face, leaving his huge, distinctive mustache exposed.
There. Sure glad I don't look stupid in this.
Actually, that clip is a bit unfair. In this panel, he kinda looks cool as a villain, but this is one of the good guys and yet looks kinda scary like that, and I question the function of the mask if it's for hiding his identity. Speaking of unnecessary masks, we cut back to the Space Fortress, where Valorum removes his and reveals absolutely no scarring, damage to his face or mouth, nothing. Look, some of us recognize that the pandemic is not really over, and wearing masks helps immunocompromise people, and helps prevent me from getting sick. Anakin is attached to a torture chair. You were insane to come here. Why? For her? Oh sure, I'm captured, I find out my head is literally too big, and now I'm being lectured about my choice in girlfriends. Can you not see I'm having a crappy enough day here, Valorum? You're a great warrior, but you're a greater fool. This is a place for androids. No codes, no honor. Wait, is everyone in the Empire an android? Is that the big twist here? Our ways are useless here. Why couldn't you have stayed away? We can't lift rocks here. There are no rocks to lift. Vader enters with Governor Hodak, who's in charge of the system.
We've come here to inform him of his fate.
Wait, why the hell did you send me down here if you were just going to come in to interrupt it?
For all the trouble he's caused us, this Jedi doesn't seem like much. Does he, Governor Hodak? You should be impressed with this technological terror we've constructed. The power of the force of others is nothing compared to the ability to take over a planet.
I'm pretty sure we did this bit a few episodes ago already.
Oh please, nobody remembers that.
Your easy capture and public imprisonment should end the Jedi myth once and for all. Nobody will believe that the Jedi came from the thigh of Zeus anymore.
Prince Valorum, the Sith may be next. Just thought I'd say that right before I left you alone with the prisoner.
And yeah, Hodak orders him to take Anakin back to Alderaan for his execution. My only regret is that I won't be there myself. Lovely planet Alderaan. I see a bright future for it in this franchise. The Space Fortress detects the approaching Y-Wings and realizes they don't have any clearance codes, so they go to battle stations. In the hangar bay, as the prisoner transport is being refueled, Valorum suddenly frees Anakin and tosses him a lightsaber. Jedi and Sith must settle this honorably, here and now! Ah yes, one of the things that carried over into the real franchise, the honor of the Sith. No, of course, this was just so they could both attack and kill the guards. So yeah, thanks to Vader's sudden assholeness towards the Sith, Valorum has switched sides, even saying they need to fight the forces of tyranny. Your technique needs work, Starkiller. Watch me and learn! Make really big swinging motions and then jump in the air like we were doing a Matrix parody like this. What will you teach me? Cruelty? A Sith murdered my brother. Didn't he pay with his life? Yeah, but without a tip, the cheap bastard. Valorum wants them to make a run for it, but Anakin says he's not leaving without Leia. Impossible! There are traps everywhere! You're mad!
Is this the human condition of madness, leader? It is.
It's love. By the way, thanks for freeing me. Love? Now I remember why our clans have fought for 1,000 years. Jeez, everything would be better if the Jedi weren't allowed to fall in love. The Y-Wing attack on the Space Fortress commences while Valorum, for some reason, comes along to help Anakin. He tricks some guards before slicing them down. Deception is still your way, Valorum. I seem to remember somebody in disguise. Our ways are not so different. Okay, but my disguise lasted for all of 0 seconds. The Jedi Bendu way is failing towards success. They free Leia. Anakin? It's about time. Aren't you a little short for a stormtrooper? Apparently my head isn't. Valorum says they need to get moving. All the hallways are sealable and they're bound to know something's up by now. Is this garbage chute pressurized? Yes, but it's going to be an awful ride. Follow me! And he leaps in. Well, I was going to say it's going to be an awful ride and then you hit the spikes at the bottom, but there you are. They fall down into the garbage dump, but no weird tentacle monster like in the movie version. Still, Valorum notes that the door is powered shut and they need to find some way of turning off the power. Yuck! This is a fine place for a princess. Life with me can only get better. On the plus side, we're not brother and sister in this version. Outside the space fortress, the Y-Wings are being very successful, taking out a bunch of terminals. I presume they mean power terminals. Apparently R2 determined that if they destroy a relay center, it'll set off a massive chain reaction and destroy the fortress. And Chewbacca blows another one up.
That Wookiee is turning out to be our best gunner.
Great shot, Fuzzball! That was 1 in a million! While Vader and the Governor learn of the rebellion on the planet, they also discover our heroes in the waste disposal and activate the trash compactor.
This is not how I pictured my death.
Admittedly though, dying from pleasure during the orgy with the bikini models I rescued from a downed submarine was pretty unlikely, but hey, a guy can dream. Fortunately for them, though not for the poor Wookiees, one Y-Wing gets hit and it crashes into the relay center, knocking out the power for the trash compactor and allowing Valorum to, kick down the door. Look, I know he said that the doors were power sealed, but I kind of expected the metal doors to be like on a slider or something. That means it can't just be knocked down like the Kool-Aid Man just came crashing through. They meet up with R2, who has just been hanging around doing nothing, I guess.
The core power has exceeded the normal stress quotient by 0.8. The magnetic fusion pods have evaporated. There appears to be immediate danger.
Nice to see you too, old buddy.
Not for me. I kind of switched sides and told them where to find you, and now I'm not gonna get paid.
While they head for an escape pod, Vader and the Governor argue about whether to evacuate or stay and fight. However, the discussion proves to be pretty pointless because the bridge explodes. Don't worry, Vader. I'm sure now you'll get the cool robot suit. The fleet flies away from the exploding space fortress, but Han's worried about Anakin and Leia. Time to stop worrying about them. Anakin is a Jedi now, and Jedi are immune to explosions. Our heroes escape while Anakin and Leia make out. Of course, a visual representation of them banging. Sometime later in the Aqualay throne room, in the original draft, Chewbacca was getting a medal. Hell, even R2 and 3PO get medals. Who did these characters piss off between then and the final movie to get their medals taken? 3PO, R2, your service to Aqualay is greatly appreciated. You are designated A4. It's like 4 times the steak sauce. You will serve Anakin Starkiller, the new Lord Protector of Aqualay. Come, we must attach the ceremonial goofy wheel thing to your back now. I noticed no medal for Valorum, though, and so our comic ends with an ending crawl of all things, while everybody cheers.
As word of the destruction of the space fortress spread, 1,000 new systems joined Queen Leia and the rebellion, causing a significant crack in the Great Wall of the Galactic Empire. But then Superman came along and fixed it with his wall repair vision. The acts of Skywalker and Starkiller once again sparked fear in the hearts of the greedy and the malevolent, and a new sense of liberty, not felt for 100 years, swept through the hearts of all. Well, except for all the space Nazis, they felt a lot of jail, death, and pain. But they were space Nazis, so who gives a damn? But our heroes' greatest adventure was yet to take place, the one which would be known as Saga of the Ofuchi.
But somehow I don't think we'll be seeing that. This comic is not that great. Even now, after we've completed this miniseries and seen it all, I hesitate to say it sucks. It's just unbaked. Admittedly, even if we didn't know about what it would eventually become, I'd have a problem saying that it sucked, just that it wasn't that good. This issue in particular had a lot going on, not helped by the sudden face turn of Prince Valorum, who we know nothing about other than he's a Sith and the Sith are bad. Vader suddenly is pissed and genocidal at him for no reason. The mighty space fortress that helped conquer a planet being taken down by a bunch of Sasquatches who never rode a bicycle before, much less flew a spaceship until a day ago, and no real emotional resonance with any of the characters beyond, oh, the pretty guy and girl get together, yay! The action isn't terrible, and individually plenty of these plot points could work if they were properly built up or some stuff shifted around, as we saw in the movies. Naboo starfighters liberated to destroy a droid control ship. Ewoks defeating the Empire's forces on the ground, but not in space. A last-minute change of heart by the villain, etc. But in this form, it's all just fine. The narrative flows well, full of action and adventure, but there's no heart to it. Everyone's kind of bland, or there'll be some random aggression, like from Luke towards Anakin, or sudden declarations of love. The artwork remains its strongest feature. Very realistic-looking people that evoke the Star Wars aesthetic while being its own thing. Clearly a lot of work went into the design elements of the series, so that there's plenty familiar, but it's just different enough to be its own thing. All in all, the Star Wars was an interesting experiment, but I'd rather have more Star Wars what-ifs in the vein of the Infinity series. Next time, let's end out September with the continuation of another series, Godzilla, Kingdom of Monsters. So anything we'll get the expanded universe explanation of the random stormtrooper Anakin stole his outfit from. Hello, my friends. Please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell for notifications on new video releases. If you'd like to support future videos, you can check out my Patreon or purchase a t-shirt via Teespring or Shark Robot. Thanks for watching!